A stream of consciousness, a dream deferred. Sonic vibrations of the tuning fork breaks the seal of the eyelids. The awakening fusion of the drone blues, harmonica, and the hum of days. Air being sucked in. Please, Lord, today, lure me away from sin. Dizzy's roll calls bellows. Let my tunes day begin. I'm no longer on dough. Travelling across county lines, I am John Clare, revitalising my mind. For the sake of mankind, in the piercing flute breeze, rolls the rustle of leaves, chasing the rolling tumbleweeds. Hauntedly moist, filled my tears, dry up like a raisin in the dread sun. The crooner's serenade is done. Oh, my lease, drawn to my resting asylum, weaving in the creativity, weaving my musical rhapsody, weaving the tales of my literal family, weaving in my new discovery, weaving out my anxiety. The ruby Tuesday morning, capital letters are at the century. Exclamation marks stand still on guard duty with x-ray vision, with tawny owls searching for chirpy, chirpy cheep. Punctuation, lukewarm vowels squeeze through the houses like fertilizer spray. The consonants wind their way through my veins. Pond knife clenches the loins, push the vocal reeds of time of lines. Woven in weaver's mind, my pill for asylum led me away into ink pot bosoms of flat jocks and fruit tea. This stream has fueled to the point where two worlds meet my deja vu, crossing the line where my world will never reflect this gain. I will trample on my bare feet to polish, to complete the suite, weaving my dreams into my reality, weaving the symbols of my fantasy, weaving my passion of a new discovery. The flutter of the butterfly embraces my symmetry. The shadow of the spire oversees the senses of time. This is my love supreme, my love supreme.
Thoughts provoked by turbulent tidings of yesterday, mind violently wrapped in winds gusting past tense concerns. Old friends and tragedy stares at my soul from within, painted across the horizon, uncertain being defined by footsteps trailing behind. Old days blow, memories of friends and times and loves and beauty, pressing on my mind, demanding attention. You don't expect tragedy. You don't expect to lose friends or father to cancer. You don't expect 9/11 to destroy your job. Memory should stay untarnished, framed and matted, tacked onto your wall. Every thought is agony of moving forward, culmination storm, pushing, pulling on my morbid little mind. Saxophone plays, crash. Slowly built totem of self comes cataclysmically down. Showered thoughts, showered being of past. Today is thunderstorm of clear skies of yesterday. But that rhythm is playing. Snap fingers, clear mind, feel, cry, combustion of soul. Make it all stop. No. Tense rapture, summarization of self, deep sigh. Let go of lost friends, of tragedy, of missteps, of discordant breathing. Death falls from fingertips. Can you hear that saxophone, God damn it, playing over the swirling storm as daylight sears your skin, brings tears out of past, and now it's in your every breath, every second of being. A love supreme, a love supreme, a love supreme. Tomorrow forces way into lungs and it's fucking beautiful. Watch withered flesh of yesterday peel from soul. Horizons embrace of possibilities as calm brings eyes wide. And tomorrow is today and yesterday is loved peace that found you where you're needed. Is that acceptance? Needed clarity? I still miss you. Storm cleansed as it always does, but I can hear the winds again, a slight breeze in distance. Sun bathes mind as it lays down every day. Wind scuttles discarded leaves that fall piece by piece behind me. Letting go of each one creates a torrent of dead leaves blowing away. And I love them all. And I miss you all. A normal breathing resumes while I stare open-eyed into the blazing sun, staring away every piece of me. One step after another step with a tear in my eye, now with love for you and love for us all. I can hear it now again. A love supreme.
I wish I could sing like starlings, dart within the foliage of lush green leaves, display the eloquence of nightingales, awakening the flowers with magical words. I wish I could resonate like music, me floating on chords, whispering to the heart, I love you. Then I will dance with illustrious moonbeams, laugh with the shooting stars of heaven. I wish I could disperse like clouds of dawn, revealing the splendor of the radiant sun, soaring like the immortal phoenix to bask in the joys of perennial freedom. I wish I could flirt like the hummingbird, adorned in a tapestry of effulgent light, kissing the cheeks of morning glories, transmuting their light with vivacity. I wish for the smile and the breath of silence, offering praises to the glories of love. No farewell. Although we have wept and they are gone, they are neither dead nor sleeping. On the Elysian wheel of time they traveled to the soul's sacred bliss of another glorious dawn. No farewell. Instead, let's evoke an exquisite song, a sweet melody of priceless gems in the now and peerless diamonds in the hereafter. Let us listen to the birds sing and the fragrant flowers unfurling to our weeping, carrying our tears to the new Jerusalem. Our hearts mourn now, but will eventually awake with joyful delight, a boon from the Master's blessings. Let us listen while the bugles blow and the trumpets call, to know that in time, dear ones shedding tears will be comforted. Dance with shooting stars, carry the glories of love to the new Jerusalem. Give praise and adulation for the grandeur of God. Although we have mourned with funeral songs and bleeding hearts, lament the sons and daughters we have lost, love has brought grace and mercy to their souls, born out of a spirit of sacrifice and fortitude, resilience and concern. No farewell, for even as the sun sets only to rise again at daybreak, even as the effulgent moon glistens in the darkness and the nightingales sing upon another virgin morn, so too they have risen, chanting Alleluia to their Lord. And in the breath of the breeze we will feel their spirit, for the wind has carried the joys and sorrows, their yesterdays and the exaltations of tomorrows, to place them all at the feet of the beloved one. And now their spirits are sanctified. Cherubims and seraphims chant their names, while the exaltations of heaven glimmer with luster at the gates of serenity and supernal beauty.
I forget plant names. Let me take you. No, not by the hand, not yet, if you don't mind. To breathe honeysuckle with twists of rose, 20 steps front to back, past this open gate, into our home ground. We'll pick a path round the tubs, past their best, though geraniums still grow red. Berries pop through pink frills clinging to fuchsia bells. Dry fronds trail purple-tailed petunias. Pansies peer, yellow-eyed, under daisies. And this lemon mint crops up everywhere. The plants need pruning, cruel though it sounds. And it is the end for French beans, bent round canes resisting gales, clambering the bay tree, brushing out woody scents across wet grass. The best we've tasted, mutters my sister. She has the green fingers, owner of 2 greenhouses. Hewer with spade and hoe, nurturer of seeds, artist of clay pots. She knew about growth from birth, like mother, begging out these bargain bushes, 5 bought for £1, thriving after 4 decades. Our first courgette, a gift, bristles, stems, rhubarb thick, spiked leaves, grocers, dinner plates. And feverfew sprouts, where the lettuce bolted just like the rocket, where my back was turned. Tangles of tomatoes blush easily, sprawled across the south wall on rope supports. The copse's windfalls go for a blackbird's song long before they're turned to compost. Maggots burrow to the heart of everyone. Pigeons seesaw the wisteria arch, swinging on seed feeders, slapstick comics, crash landing a perch for bird table raids. Our yew shades the terrace, a mushroom shape pocked with sparrows meeting for lunch, trilling in the dusk of ritual watering. The tree defends neighbourly views, has done since the house was young. The centenary might have passed us by. It shields the Juneberry seasons of copper gold, the unfurled grey of feathered leaves, the bursts of white stars. We're done with Lollo Rosso and chives. Rosemary, thyme and lavender might lift the winter. The strawberries root for soil, waving tendrils feeding sweet hope for June. Spring is my time, bluebells and snowdrops in unplanned places, lily of the valley, violets in the lawn. I forget plant names, but not their birth, cuttings, roots from homes, memorials to friends, our marks on earth. And here is the pump fed by well rainwater underground. Sit here on this bench, join me for tea. We'll talk of friends, children, your labours. We will not discuss politics, and we won't give weather the time of day.
I will pay attention to going in and out of doors, the passages and passageways, fluid, not stationary, not frozen, no, not stuck, but with the impetus, the idea of continuous forward movement, even if and when stationary, is simple, simply, momentarily suspended animation before the next movement, but never stuck, but moving. The sounds that waft up to you, you standing there at your watch on the pier, the point there above the sea, there on the coast to the south, will come to you faint, distorted with a silence, both foreign and familiar, like speech that is beneath, yet inside the sound of water moving, and which, like speech, underwater, fade in passage. You are alone, and sound also. Plenty. Inscribed by language, tattooed by love, the pause deepens and waits. Where is the promised freedom, the release, the cat's paw behind the barred window, tentative checks for passages out, cautious, still yet not broken or gone, the rain signals the release. It chooses another escape and waiting, checking the sky for signs of rain, scouring the clouds for symbols, this or that, what meaning the color red assigns, and banishes all replaced by thoughtless blue. Is there the moment of going, the moment sunk like a stone in the well of abject stain? Why the feet ground like roots going down, infiltrate the soil, cling and cloying, see the 4 directions and travel underground? Perhaps I travel that way, and not in the sky, above water. Sinuous is a root system growing underground, travel deep and far, forgiving the earth, which softens and allows my passage. The root system seeking water, the pool of resistance, that deep, the well of sounds like you, the sisters smiling, the aunties, their hands that work sure and steady, the faces deep, the ocean of kindness, the faces of familiars who say, we know, traveling to the well to meet you, who am I to know, to say I know? that we all seek light is enough. For crying. Now is the time for crying. Now the time for tears that will wash us, the soul collective, the soul co-joined with the all, clean and pure. We are rendered children again, innocent, quick to smile, as quick to cry if needed. The loss behind us, washed clean, made right, to then go on, let it go, and sit in the dirt if we wish, if we must, making castles of mud, visit at the water's edge, the waves licking us, to lay on our backs, awash in the night sky, the deep and dark blue of it, the stars, the punctuation of light, otherwise unseen, the portals to the other side of thought. In tears, through tears, our riches emerge, the nourishment we seek for us to grow and begin again. A prayer to our mother. O mother of darkness, mother of shadow, the world I left to join this world now where I am. In the light now, in this moment, I shine, now present and in body. You are with me, you are for me in everything. The mother of all who, watchful, sees all, the little boat on the still pond that ducks and bobs with the small movements of water, on water, quietly making its way. The fish below, I see their dance below the boat, they in greeting as they come circling, the graceful pirouettes of moving bodies, the bright flick of the tails, the suddenness of orange, the beacon of color that shoots through translucent water to be visible for just one moment, and further down underneath to not see, but feel the still movement of deep water. The mother of us all who, there watchful, suggests the way through, the way forward, fluid and swift through the water, the little boat as it moves through water, at moments dark, at moments when sun hits, the brilliant dapple of light for the moment blinds us as it plays upon the water, in the little boat moving as it plays upon the water, the little boat upon the pond, now becoming sea. I learn from you, my mother, I learn from the everything that is you, the path awaiting, the channels open to when I am ready. Bring me back home, the home that is now, the home that will be, the home that is, and I will join you in my place, in everywhere I roam, every place I call my home, in and with the eternity that is you.
The stage is set, light down low, a mere hint of colour teases the eye. Audience expectation is tangible as the black flocked tenor steps to his podium. His companion in this musical duet of point and counterpoint, sporting a red waistcoat, takes his place beneath the streetlight. The opening toccata by the black flocked tenor is met with a ritornello from the red-coated robin. Alternate strophic arias by the two masters are embellished with trills, scales and virtuoso movements, da capo, from the head. The robin, bathed in the artificial dawn of a sodium streetlight, sings in the hope that the sun will rise. He sings in hope that food will be found. He sings in joy that he has lived when others fell. This red-jacketed troubadour, with his virtuoso performance, delivers an elaborate coloratura that breaks the ice, that leads the way for the continuo from the black-frocked bird, leading to a grand parade of divas, contraltos, librettos, vibratos, obligatos, and mezzo-sopranos before the return of the robin in a bravura cadenza, and seagulls whirl and squall in a timeless dance that greets the dawn, and the black and white sky slowly emerges into living colour like a print in a developing tray. Trees stretch their naked limbs to the newly woken sky, all clothing cast shamelessly to the floor, and the robin, displaced by the blackbird, moves to the top of the tree and sings for all who care to listen. The houses are slowly painted in with pastel sheets of colour by the waking day. A pair of jackdaws shouting raucous abuse land on the adjacent fence, objecting to everything. A flowering cherry, indifferent to fashions, brazenly flaunts her pink corselage for all the world to see, and lights go on as the people wake to find the day already moving on without them. The rush, coffee-fueled, dog-walking, breath-huffing, ice-scraping car starting is quickly replaced by a return to morning birdsong, and the kids step out in their matching uniforms, bright voices raised in excitement at the latest social trends, and a squirrel, oblivious to fads and fancies, hops fences and bushes in a quest for the next edible delight. In the distance, the town hall clock chimes 9 and calm returns to the morning. From somewhere on high, a single downy white feather drifts toward the ground, and 2 sparrows swoop and turn, avian combatants in a race to pluck this soft prize, and the victor flies to the curb. His beak-clutched bounty will be used to feather his nest, and the microdrama below is echoed in the broader strokes of the master on the sky, and the promise of sun edges the clouds of cumulonimbus with a gilt edge of golden glory. Lines of shadow and rays of light vie for dominance in a promiscuous riot of outrageous orange. For just a moment, the master has painted a perfect canvas for the expectation of the waiting day.
A voice, when does it start at birth? Silence in the womb for months, developing through the years in continuous thoughts, going around, voice in chorus, voice in prayer. First, I love you, calling out for your mother, your father, your children, your lover, a friend. Singing voices bring amazing feelings of words. Whispers are destroying the voice. Who knew when they told you to be quiet, it would ruin or make your voice louder? So much comes from the tone of a voice. You must learn to control your voice. Oh, was that too loud? Can I hear me? I am your voice. I am the voice that guided you, the guardian of your soul, the voice of love inside. I can be more than just a sound, a voice keeping you alive and others listening to hear, a voice of wisdom, a voice, a real voice, the voice, a very hard thing to take away, yet so fragile it disappears so fast. Voice, 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 voice.
Existential garden mind. All things coexist with and without meaning, making vision surreal. Iris angels bloom sweetly, then curl to wet fists for me to clip. Robin bathing in the bird bath with joyful insertions into water, splashes with wings for a while. I remember gardens, not of this life's memory, but DNA, lush, soft greens hiding lost lovers, mysteries. A million parables fill our holy texts, but who is learning? How do we call out systemic thoughts that ultimately hurt others? In the spring garden where life bursts forth, seemingly out of nowhere, angels all, now death has come. We put aside for compost, rebirth. Mainways clogged, now souped up cars pause at the crossroads, revving, screeching off down the side streets. Fascinated with all things smooth, my teeth, skin, fingernails, Rainer Maria Rilke and his whiskers. Charcoal clouds, heavy rain eases sky to earth. Relief, release, blue cup of tea in your memory. All the world moves slowly as a snail. It also races with spinning minute hand. A garden of the mind. I begin to understand. This is my goddess, the farmer's almanac, looking up through flowers in summer, watering each plant with a bit of food, save them from Tennessee heat. Looking out the window to the garden like I dreamed of as a little girl, slicing a lemon fragrant and cheerful, cooking red beans and rice, anything, cakes, cookies, casseroles, the sunlight comes through. The stars, fireflies landing sleepily on my arm, my leg, innocent, erotic, flowers lure bumblebees inside, all the way inside. The earth is a fertile womb, not to be feared, but loved. Seeds know what to do, who to be, how to be unique. Darkness cradles us each night. Sun always returns like summer, despite our nightmares. Naturally abundant time of year. This is my goddess, living true to nurture, nature, kindness, compassion, loving spirits, watering my soul with the flowers. Of oracles, it makes a heart when I pull a spoon of brown sugar from my coffee from the jar, a spoon of peanut butter from my bread. It makes the shape of a heart right there on the spoon, making me stop and smile. You need a steady hand, a firm measure for the sugar, for the white flour or the brown, the cornmeal, the cake flour that comes out of the crinkly bags. Reminds me of making cookies with my older sister at Christmas when we didn't have a mixer, beat butter and eggs by hand. A steady hand to measure soil from the compost bin, the potting soil bag, wheelbarrow to flower bed. Steady with delicate roots that only have seconds or so before they go into shock and need earth and water again. Steady on. What makes an oracle anymore when they used to be blowing dandelions in the wind for wishes in summer? Into an unknown future that had to be better, into a career, architect, teacher, writer, what? Now my oracle is peanut butter on a spoon in the shape of a heart, reminding me of the love in my home now, making me smile. Oracle, waiting for the email to load emails, more oracles into unopened email worlds. Any one of them could be magic today. Pythia, dear priestess, what would you say of my fire, our fire, my lack of curses anymore? I'm full of blessings instead, with hope, smiles for hearts when they come. May you have a blessed day, or may you have interesting times. We much prefer the former, not being a curse. May karma find the guilty. May it not get worse.
Constellations. Go around, sun, into this spacious well. A sanguine moon replaces you in my eye, with the stars strobing now in the dome of night. I see the figures in the firmament, skeletons of invisible ley lines. The stars are recognized as the joints, cosmic acupuncture points, the great connect the dot game, creating rungs on the utmost ladder. Climbing into that fellowship requires an enlightened understanding, a kinship with the sun and moon and stars, a relationship outside this clay body, a reduction of the distance between the sensual and the celestial. This is easier than it seems, as the mind itself lives intangible in its own darkened dome of bone. So esoteric astrophysics is as simple as laying down under the sequined canopy and forgetting you are connected to flesh, to unjoint oneself altogether, rising, pulling up into a vast, sparkling entity fashioned from stardust, ageless and invincible like yourself. Engaging in light conversation with Orion, hairy situations with minor and major bears, quenching a lingering thirst in Aquarius, yearning and learning fearless before the Fomalhaut. Rescuing Andromeda is unchaining yourself. Then, after a night awakened, the planet digs into your back, insists upon its gravity, and this mundane plane of mud and air is lit by morning and heaven is hidden by our own disconnected star.
Favorite things. Wow, so many. Love of friends and family and all things that convey it. Of course, love is not a thing, but such a deep emotion expressed in words, gestures, touch, and look. In the smile of my mother and the said words of my late father, the glitter in the eyes of all my pups and the voices of the kittens in the neighborhood, glistens the moistness of happiness in my favorite things. And when a stranger begins to endear and the body has a new sensation, of course, falling in love is the prettiest of feelings, more fulfilling than watching a flower bloom. But till it happens, there are flowers around, colorful and beautiful, charming and graceful, symbols and motifs, but flowers are flowers, always and nonetheless, taking your hand into the wilderness, asking so loudly to never be tied in a bouquet. The wilderness is so dear, so peaceful, so healing, so calm, so pretty. It's my favorite place, favorite thing. I'm sure it's yours too. Nothing like a walk among wild, unknown flowers, clouds floating, pollen laden breeze, scent of rain on dried soil, river gushing, the cry and call of birds, the fall of the waterfall, space enough to bend and sit, lie down and laugh without being stopped. Space is the dearest of all things.
Stage of the spoken world. This is the year of the key. This is the year of the coin. This is the year of the word and the digits of the code. This year is the new alone. I take a walk in twilight quiet, Paul Valéry's sapphire habit, to break from today's webs of words. At times I flow with time, or stride forward while my mind stares behind. Memory wears a necklace of knives, each one meant for a wound of mine. But the persistence of time perpetually frees me from history, moves me into complete mystery. Valéry's question haunts my thoughts. Chanterez-vous quand vous serez vaporeuse? Will you sing when you're reduced to vapor? I want to chant at all the changes of the day, dawn, noon, and dusk. Midnight walks toward me. She never changes pace. The sorrows of my changing faith. Who called to me from all myths of earth, echo of my first song of mirth? Why pick up the rusted chain again of my time-worn story and drag it across this doorstep my shadow stains? Keep the vigil of open vision, circle of spacious time, timeless space. Outdoors dusk has turned to dark, its tendency toward a round trip. The best way to end my nightmares is to face them. The play I appear in forever starts over. Refrain of ocean waves, sunlight sculpts with fire. The now is forever a newborn I've never before seen. I touch it with tender uncertainty. Bless this welcome presence. Time, the pulse of consciousness. Now, onto the stage of the spoken world. I can only sing on this side of the curtain.
Our quiet call. Shadows slide across town. They are graceful yet calm. trailing the solstice with whispering goodbyes. The sun's blaze fades softly with clarity. Its gentle smile greets our equator calmly. With the silent call of a soft lullaby, leaving the summer with a yawning goodbye. Yet carrying life within its gentle stream, yet soon its restful flow will breathe rebirth. As flowers filled with light return to the earth, as ospreys seek warmth from an African beach, as hedgehogs shelter deep from winter's reach, guided by the fading light with much to do to survive, as people rush lost in the city's consumerism, just hopeful again for the festive season.
Each heart is a work of art. Even when broken, our scars remind us that we were a storm of bravery. And when hope seemed to have abandoned me, poetry stood by, ever there to find the words I couldn't hear amid the storm. You can take away my freedom, I still have my poetry. You can take away my self-esteem, but poetry never leaves me. You can reject and criticize the way I live, but poetry knows my very soul and speaks to me with compassion. You can strip me naked, but all you do is bare my soul, and poetry is free to be and speak as it pleases. I may have nothing, but poetry never leaves me. You can treat me like an object and dehumanize my being, but poetry lifts me high without you even knowing. And even poets need to hear that their words matter, that their emotions matter. Even, I mean every poet needs to hear the words, your words matter, your emotions matter, you matter. And remember, one heart alone cannot carry the weight of all emotions. Connection cannot occur alone. One heart requires another to make it whole. Without our flaws, we would be too precious to live our lives in all their beauty. And each heart is a work of art, chiseled, sculpted, pulled apart, held together perfectly by poetry.
Doormat. I look down at the dirty welcome mat. Unwanted visitors arrive again. Not welcome as ever, yet always returning. Never getting the message, not to come back. Anxiety and depression with their winter cousins sad. Here again, they don't knock, just barge right in. Sweeping through to my mind, inflicting damage as they go. Initially unnoticed, but soon I hear the eruption approach. Mind's eye twitches, tears and anger start to rumble and roll. Anxiety always forces questions. Did I say the wrong thing? Did I wipe my feet on the way in? Depression tells its same old chronic lies. It tells me I'm worth nothing, that I don't matter, that frankly, who would even care about me, the doormat in this life? Sad is just sad. Beckons the dark, happy vitamin D sapping clouds. Drowning motivation in the constant spirit-drenching rain. The three amigos, the horrors of the mind. They try to outcompete one another, playing torturous games. One day, I will be the victor above the terror trio. Until then, each day is a seesaw. Between exhaustion and exasperation, losing concentration, playing the game of self-care. The day comes. Blue sky inside mind's eye. I stop believing the lies that once dawned inside the horrors of my mind.
The last rose of summer reveals its divine proportion. Another season slipping away into the eternal hourglass as a gentle breeze whispers into my ear, "It's time." I do not release its hand, yet realize the futility of this act, for the hourglass will have its way, as there is no stopping the sand. Each grain a moment along the timeline. the pattern of the rose a key to the door. And I remember when the cloud that cursed my eyes removed, I could see the true colors of Monet and Van Gogh, de Kooning and Richter, the luster of my mother's blue eyes, my vision restored, if only for that precious moment before she left me. Underneath Monday's chill blue sky, I, now alone, daring not to move, as two doves outside watch me calmly through my bedroom window, our eyes meeting, telling me with that one glance that there is still work to be done. And I open my eyes to today, 10 years, 10 grains of sand in the dimming light of dusk, alone again, resigned to time, having finally acknowledged the acceptance, endemic having now set in, the needle a temporary fix, the new reality all around me, awash in uncertainty, weakness, indecision, failure. The blind eye listens, the deaf ear sees, and through my distorted retina, I see myself all too clear. The uprooted tree, the scattered branches, the nakedness bared, the point of no return, the futility of longing and wishing for, senseless thoughts plaguing precious time as I stare off into the distance against the backdrop of dusk's nocturnal sounds. I turn my head to the stagnant creek in the humid air along the path on which I walk. And in that instant, I am dancing with you under the Milky Way, awakened, a glow of energy passing between palms gently pressed, our bodies spinning and turning, walking on air under the celestial canopy in the open field, stardust bursting forth into an aurora borealis of sinuous movement as our eyes met, becoming one for the briefest of moments. Now a single grain of sand slips away, falling through the hourglass, becoming one with all the others. And I saw what I never knew. the door now opening to reveal a new day, now steering me on a new course to there, on a new course to there, on a new course to there. But where?
Color my world. First, color my world with the invisible, the essential, the incorruptible. Grab the widest of brushes and dip it deep into compassion, swirling it until every bristle is saturated. Make wild, sure strokes across the background of being. Cover it thickly, a viscous gesso grounding all that will float and flow upon its surface. Let it dry slowly with the warm breath of love, freeing vapors of longing, rising and disappearing into waning clouds of thought. Sand it gently with empathy until its soft, smooth surface contains no crevice, crack, or outcropping in which the dusty particles of doubt may find purchase. Then color my world with all shades of human, every hue born from every clime. Color my world with the cross-pollination of lovers who leave convention behind. Color it with the shape and shade of every tribe. Color it with strands and curls and ringlets, with fuzz and stubble and wild cowlicks. Color it with eumelanin and phenylanin, with freckles and tans and birthmarks. Color it with rashes and sunspots and scars, with albinism and vitiligo. Color my world chocolate, saffron, annatto, and peach. Color it oat, wheat, cumin, pecan, and chickpea. Color it delicious. Color my world raw umber, burnt sienna, burnished copper, and dimpled bronze. Color it smooth amber and saturated coral. Color it pale chalk, glimmering sand, and fragile rust. Color it hard and strong, soft and malleable, cold and warm, and always beautiful. And then color my world with every chroma, every pigment of plant and plumage. Color it deep forest and shocking chartreuse green. Color it swaying poppy, slithering salamander, and fluttering cardinal red. Color it bold sunflower and tart citrus yellow. Color it ripe cut mango, darting goldfish, and roaring tiger orange. Color it resting robin's egg, scampering scarab, fluttering morpho wing, and waving water blue. Color it drooping wisteria, plump grape, and slow sea snail purple. And then color it striped and spotted and spiked and rounded. Color it subtle and brilliant. Color it pastel and iridescent. Color it contrasting and complementary. Color it microscopic and vast. Color it wisdom and passion. Color it intellect and faith. Color it action and thought. Color it kaleidoscopic. Color it a rainbow encircling the horizon. Color it everything. Color it now. But most of all, with every stroke, every movement, every touch, color it love.
2 small poems about love. Kiss. I can tell by your poetry that you are a good kisser. I can tell by the way you blink during pauses, the way you close your eyes after certain lines, the way you sigh every time you sigh. You are not a fan of sloppy kisses. No, you're a purveyor of sweet, soft, gentle kisses. Even your hard kisses are soft and gentle. When you bite my lower lip, it tickles. When we kiss, the goddess of silence screams so passionately, Aurora Borealis covers her ears, and though I shall never know your kiss, when I read your poetry, I hear your voice, how your every breath respects your thoughts and provokes words to come alive on page and give a sweet, soft, gentle kiss. Savior, will you be my savior? Will you be my life preserver? Will you be the one to preserve my sanity? Will you be my lover? Will you be my best friend? Will you talk with me when I won't talk back and know that I am really screaming and crying? May I lay my head on your one-hearted chest? May I breathe in your skin, your body, your soul, your life breath? Will you make love with me? Will you sleep next to me so I can hear your heartbeat rise up from the mattress through my pillow like a lullaby written just for me?
Thou diamond pen, tracing terrible lines, carve truth through smoky words. Though tyrants crave in foment lies, thine eagle eye sets freedom's bosom heave. Dash chains, fall links upon that thirsty ground whose blood-washed steps martyrs deny, the vagrant liars tread. Part iron chains, vain tyrants claim, deny Athene's efforts echo, break links and fall, clatter coins upon that stony ground, liberty steps free. Such prisoners purchased with weedy words, replaced from dungeons, palace reclined, unchained with such sweet truths told, dear liberty breathed free. Athene's owl wisdom on thine shoulders strong perched, mountain keen, thine sight pass o'er plateaus of paltry passing vague. Fresh winds and pine tops rim thy sight, mountain meadows flower thine ankle blessed, buds of laurel, olive leaves thy brow begirt, and blossoms frame thy sunny cheek. The glorious sun cloud free, Athene, maid of mind and mistress of liberty's torchy light, might my strength be oil for thy burning lamp. Every blessing from my lips smooth the ground for thee, caressing each step, ease thy way.
The Edge of Sleep. 7:30, the lights are low. Laid back, we wrestle with the corpse in our yoga class, palms upturned, feet apart, splayed on mats. In our last pose, we don't count sheep. Snores are likely if we succumb to sleep. I've coaxed my cat to flex a spine, pressed the dog upside down, curled my trunk face up to a cobra. At last, there's a ritual to let go. Flatten the base, peer down the nose, lower chin to neck, close lids, check a frown, grip a muscle, relax, calm the torso with a belt of arms, breathe. Folds of blanket ruffle the throat. I dream an effigy smooth as marbled cream, raise two late cats to hug each soul, cast their tails to rope warmth round a statue's slippered toes. Dr. John Ray, carelessly recumbent in St. Magnus, is too tough to mimic. Grey stone head pillowed on outflung arms, cloaked in a skin rug, gun and book to hand. His body lies in the churchyard, shipped from Kensington to Kirkwall, as far north as I have ever seen. A surgeon at sea, home with kin, shunned by English society. Ray walked in the shoes of the Inuit, an explorer on the path of Franklin's fate. He endured censure marking the extremes, learned new ways to live on the frozen edge. I esteem these Stoics, their truth, but need to set aside the deeds not well done, summon stillness, practice asanas, pause. The winds of scandal leave their chill behind. and the teacher calls to end time in the hall, tells us to roll like a child, stretch bodies to our limit. We press palms, bow, murmur, namaste. Reset. We are on our feet.
Oaxaca, beautiful woman. I fly over you like a dove, a predator. I eat you in the mountains. I drink the water as it comes down and down. Mud, silt, hair, blood, washing away the past, the future, all sins, possibilities of transcendence, because I am dead the same time I am alive, drinking your mezcal late at night on Friday, deep into the bowels of morning. I see visions and sleep better or worse, but always in your loving embrace. The goddess, be with me, she whispers on the breeze, stay with me. You are me, these 100, 1,000 lifetimes. You are me in the caves, the long bright lit halls at night, the plazas, the throne room, the bath, in heaven, the bedroom entwined in the embrace of your lover. You are the golden one, as are we, your sisters all. Fear not the momentary absence of light, the dark. You are the light, and the light the way through 1,000 lifetimes. You are me, serene and knowing, the smile beautiful, the fixed gaze steady, my hair twining down over uplifted breasts, the firm stance, the robes as they play against my flesh, the sandals as they so lovingly hold and wrap my feet. We, as all, are the goddess. We are eternal. Golden babies. The mothers are calling across the wine-dark sea, through the foam that licks each wave as it comes to shore. Across the sky, the mothers cry, cradle the baby, cradle her, cradle him tight, don't let the baby fall. The little boat rocks gently on top of the waves. It has a line that goes deep into the dark water. The line is attached to the hand of the fisherman. The sea is dark, deep, opaque, green, a dark emerald. The fisherman holds the line gently but securely, understanding the pull of things, the pull of the fishes randomly from deep underwater. The fish, the line, the fisherman, the boat, the rocks are one, a continuous line that goes back into time, back to the mothers who call me. Don't forget the baby. The babies are flying across the sky, golden, serene. They're smiling, the babies, knowing all, holding tight to them the pain, the horror, and the joy. They smile. The baby holds us all gently together and as one. The baby will not let us fall. The baby will hold on and will hold on and will not let us fall. The boat is our first cradle. We must mind the baby. Waking, in the moment between sleep and waking, half light, the moon not sunk yet and settled below the line of seeing, you are in between, the gentle hum of existence, not constant. It pulsates like you in love or a cat with its tail flicking rhythmically to some inner beat. And you cherish this moment, lying so still and paying attention, not yet alight to light the fire of your being, but just nothing there, now, still, yet everything is there. And this one, the snows of August. In August, I dream of snow. It is not only me. We dream together the dreams of great heights, silence, stillness, and the moon. There is a darkness in August, the long shadow of summer and the heat. Who will remember this time for us? Who will remember? If I dance in your moonlight, my shadow will become the midnight breeze that ruffles your hair. If you sleep, my love, if you sleep. The trees know you, as do I, and guard you as you dream. Their branches dancing and dancing as I in the moonlight. Dance with me tonight, my love. How is it from your perch, from your loft, from your distance that you are from me? What do you see from those dizzying reaches? It is not just the snow in August on the roofs. It is something else, something yet to be known, and I must trust even though I cannot see it, cannot imagine it, cannot know it, and maybe never will. I must trust that I will. I must trust or not, or perhaps just simply be, just simply be. Your secrets are the private well of your soul sleeping deep and undisturbed. How quiet I am, as only God knows, and no other. How quiet I am. I will not wake them, nor shake them, nor talk too loud. They are that they sleep, your secrets, and they shall. Wet seeping through to the inside to rain on us like tears, the snows of August of our dream roof, crying on us, weeping all night while we dream. I feel the cold, but it is not suffering, this rain. It is a blessing. It is our blessing. It is life. It is our life. Dream blindness, dream clarity or madness. How much can we see from this great height, this maddening, sublime, frightening precipice of this dream, holding on to the side of our cliff and the little house of August with snow on the roof, holding on to the improbable, the impossible, dizzying architecture of our dreams, yet we do hold on and are afraid and are not afraid at the same time. The architecture only of our God or of our demons, crazy structures we manifest, yet do not know, the ocean of private madness in which we all swim, the glimpse of what it was before we were and what it will be when we are not, practicing our death each night. We are afraid without fear. Surely this is God or our guardian angel taking care of us while we sleep. This is what we are here to learn. I am weeping with the rain, saturated and numb from the cold, and want and want. What is it that I want now? Now, always, I have so much. How can I be dissatisfied? Yet I am. I will certainly sometime know, but maybe not now. Desire, I am human. I am deeply flawed, full but emptied, always the gnawing, the insistent gnawing, the knowing of nothingness from the inside out, and still the unknowing remnants of fear. I am here to learn. Tonight, right now, I know only that I desire to dance with you in the moonlight and little else, and I am satisfied with the not knowing. For now, I am satisfied. For now, I'm crying for August. I'm crying for myself finally. I let myself cry and it comes out all ragged and wrong. I'm crying for myself and the weights, the burdens of my love, self-imposed because I love. Is this love being burdened? Being only that I am burdened by my love? Ragged and wrong, I must know more, but I do not yet. Let me settle into August. Let me release myself as snow that melts upon the touch of the overhot roof of August and rains down upon you as I sleep, and I too shall sleep satisfied at last.
All glory to my mother's name. You are my music and my song, my brightest light when things go wrong. Alway, you beat your gong on broken drums to make me strong. You are my lyre and my lute, the sweetest songs within my flute. Thank God your treasured smile so cute, full of compassion, so-called Ruth. Sweet mother dear, thy sacrifice, coupled with love and great advice, your sweet concern did but entice me to no wrong for thinking twice. You are my bridegroom and my bride, robed in a wedding dress I tried, so cute, so cuddly that I lied when the dressmaker I espied. Mother, you kissed my wounded soul and dyed my precious heart in gold. My strength and kindness you did mold, a selfless spirit to behold. For my mistake, Mom took the blame. When I messed up, she hid my shame. Humble low, she shunned all fame. All glory to my mother's name. 2. A moment's peace. A moment's peace edifies the spirit, sharpens the intuition, and calms the heart. Like an ascending dove, it sails on the wings of love, flying above the storms of life. A moment's peace is blessed above all else, and fills my core with perennial sweetness. Taking away my veil of tears, it embraces me with its nectar rays. A moment's peace gladdens the emotions and eradicates anxiety. It fills my soul with heavenly joy. alleviates the magnitude of my earthly struggles. A moment's peace brings forth a carousel of new tomorrows. It frees me from a flood of worldly thoughts and destroys the rust of my unhappiness. A moment's peace has the vivacity of a lion, yet is meek as a lamb. It grants me the grace of inward vision, delights in the sovereign good above all visible things. A moment's peace is contented with little, feels more exalted to give than to receive. It sows an effusion of ardent love and is most precious when preserved in silence. A moment's peace shares in the richness of my happiness and knows the fullness of heaven. It descends like the dew, adds sparkle to the excellence of luminous dawn. A moment's peace evokes from deep within deeds inspired by love. It arouses the heart and lightens the understanding and dispels like smoke the seeds of grief. A moment's peace has the innocence of a child's smile. It kindles the psalm of benevolence, a gift of love supreme. A moment's peace like the newborn, cradles in its mother's arms, can and shall make the world beautiful. A moment's peace.
A lady's maid and her sailor. Our grandparents made no bones about it. Their weekends were ours. Sisters giggling on the steel floor in Dad's work van, legs stretched to touch toes, backs braced against wheel arches, jiggling to countdowns of the journey time. We'd stay a night, more in holidays, breathe bonfire smoke, sleep in a double bed, wake at dawn to help Grandad open hutches, let the hens out, scattering feed and grit, shoveling hot mash with scraps in winter, charged to grip the edge basket lined with straw. He cropped 3 acres. Nanny kept house, tended flower beds, pruned thorns from the door, that rose arch cottage, Turley, our playground. A lady's maid serving near Huntley, Nan married her sailor from Newbury. A girl at home with trees, she stands still for the trill of a bird. Heed, rare feather or flight, swear at starlings, watch bird table etiquette. She'd knead her bread dough in a china bowl, slap the rise out of it, shape loaves for the week. At night she'd strip to a slip, wash down the swell of her chest in the scullery, light the copper for a weekly bath, and order the tin tub from the shed. She'd lay stays round curve and bone, tame curls with a damp brush, clamp her grey felt hat stabbed with pins on top. Stiff-backed in corch-heeled shoes, she'd say, best foot forward, chin up. Button her coat, set off at a trot to stop the bus into town. Grandad planted worms he dug up on sacking a handspan from his spade. He'd shush our tratter, whistle for the robin to choose his supper, heads together, cocked to one side. Chickens clucked at our toes, pecked bare calves, and the geese were rude, shooting bills up our skirts. We spied egg-eaters flashing yellow beaks, rescued each victim with a neck pecked raw, learned how to corner them, trap 2 wings underarm and hold both scaly legs in one fist. We said no to wringing their stringy necks, watched Grandad do it with one deft click, saw their heads flop as their bodies ran. We plucked feathers downwards, not tearing skin, swung carcasses by the claws to the scullery. Nan scooped innards, squirming, onto newsprint. Sunday afternoons, we'd crook fingers to pull the wish cracked from each horseshoe, breastbone, climb our apple tree and bawl hymns from the heart. The blackbird had spoken, God's in his heaven, all's right with the world. Through the months my sister spent in hospital, the wishbone snapped apart in my hands. I begged the sky to send her back to our den in the hedge, the fun outside, our branch in the orchard hatching new plans. And while Grandad naps, Nan sits attuned to each nuance of finch, elbows akimbo, the window ajar, air fresh with compost, cut grass, sawn logs, sage, thyme, and her lavender. Rheumatic conditions in children. Research wing at the Canadian Memorial Hospital, Taplow, May to November 1956. My big sister waits for the drop of the sweets after lunch in the lap of her bed 6 times a week, but not on a Sunday. At 2 o'clock, parents bring their presents. A bell opens doors, chimes them out at 4. The nurses, starched, box-capped, bustle from view, and the children feast each week on books, comics, puzzles, looks, the black and white snaps of home. My sister dare not ask, why am I here? It's bed rest for 6 months. What did she do? I wait in the car park with the baby she barely held. My legs itch with boredom. I know the action is elsewhere. I rock the pram, thumb through a story. I'm 7. My sister turned 9 on her first day here. Siblings are not allowed on the ward. In a photo, mine peers over bed rails, glasses swamp her eyes. A ribbon holds a short bob behind the ears. She told me that weekly haircut helped pass the time. My older sister said the nurses scooped all their treats for the communal basket and doled them out in random handfuls after tea. We were brought up not to make a fuss. Our mum discussed her loss in later years. My grown-up sister craves chocolate, undressing cellophane, sticky, trickled down her throat, a tongue coated in sugar. She keeps mints in her pockets, counts sweets as Sinnans for the Slimmers Club.
Being a bird, do you think if I were a bird, I would not answer, sworn to silence, a pact of only circling above? And yes, what if I circle as in the habit of wings? Is it only you to be there above, looking down and down? Is it not mine too, the looking to see even the smallest of fruit there, hidden in the branches, that which is hidden from sight when we were on the ground? It is mine, it is mine, it is mine, this looking, this fruit, being as bird. Dancer, unnerved, the sweet sandals will do, wrapped around the gentle ankle to hold the footfall again steady. How they want me to quieten all which squeaks and wobbles at each revolution, stilled in turn, and I cannot still them. The 8, no 10 roosters clamoring, the dogs which snarl and menace each, and I could not help them. I cannot help her. Who am I that I can hold up for each who asks me? In turn, this thin layer of world overhead, holding up and holding up above the reach of arms, slender and pliant, the ankle also, not meant to hold up so much, too much, but gesture simple and strong as the dancer, extending the one long arm to point unwittingly on the diagonal at all which is behind the curtain. Excuse me. Okay, and then hum. I am paying attention to the hum in the room, humming. Yellow with its perfect pitch, its lofty tone, sings like angels on high above, these colors buried below, deep and underground from this attention. Deep below this knowledge, the occupation of color, this attention, me. I'm curious yellow. I am curious blue, blue with which falls below yellow in pitch, but high, yes, it is high, and below yellow, below. What it brings, this hum, what is brought to attention, to me, this attention to the hum in the room, is time and sound. It is like color, but different, paying attention to it, its swift focus, this dull knowledge of why it is time to cry, to make the sounds which we know and understand, to cry, and we cry and cry, yellow with its perfect pitch, and us in the room with the hum, in our lives, always there like a cat on the prowl, silent sometimes, the light touch of the fur on your leg, sudden, unseen, unknown, but by touch awakens the senses, and we know something, anything, this presence of hum, the witness we know, which brings us the knowledge that we already know. It is time to cry, and with our bodies, with our full attention, we make the deep, deep sound, our hum, the deep sound of our release. While you were sleeping, I was awake watching. While you were asleep, I was awake waiting for you to wake, and I waited and watched, sometimes checking for signs, the chest rising, falling slowly. Yes, he is breathing. Yes, she breathes. The movement of the eyes behind closed lids, rapid then slow, to repeat this pattern of dreams as they arrive behind the eyes, beneath translucent eyelids, the color of flesh, your flesh, like a pearl glowing. And the small whimpers, the singing, the short barks as you dream, the symbols of sleep, awakening, waking, awake. I've watched you as you sleep and know them all. I know you. You remained asleep. You did not stir, and me, my hands forming the ancient signs, the meaning of these deep in the body, sleeping still, the caves of desire asleep, and in sleep waking, the chill, dark, still, calm desire, the breath of desire, the chest moving in response to the signals of behind the eyes, up and down the chest, aging in increments as I watch, constant as love. We wait. Together in the sky, strung like pearls to form a necklace in the sky, nearly imperceptible, the hint, the dark glimmer at night of these orbs shining separate yet together, except when there is the moon up there, which like us, shines like the moon. We are the moon, each our own, which shines. Sleep, my love, my precious one. I will not wake you before your time. I will not wake you with my own tremors of fear or of rage which shake me, for they are my own, mine to own, she who is wakeful. While you were growing, I was grown, a tree with roots which go down to the middle of earth, my mind spiraling up now as branches passing through the reaches there up into the darkened sky. While you were sleeping, I traveled there up high and forgot myself and you. I forgot you remembering me, and I forgot I was awake and you asleep, and forgot myself and simply kept going, wakeless or not, wakeful or not. I forgot and imagined me the baby this time once again, sleeping as I was, and I will be again, wakeless, wakeful, weightless, in dream, in memory. I simply kept going.
How much love? How much time? How much warmth allowed to climb over the wide walls of shelf of self? How dare the eyes, indeed the lip, needs the seeds replaced to fill the space between the loves in family time? The subtle balance, the slippery climbs, some time for friends in arguments allure, the natural never whirl, choices swerve, judgment steps on tentative representative words, whose ideas hurdle tipsters, tiptoe turtles on weighted, cautious moments, outside the fence frequents events volcanic, foments revolt of love, measured master, cast that play faster. Could we compare two weaving, leaving doves to loves, to flowers, fine half-argued choice from child to child, from friend to fine, 1,000 billion words, choices heard, without repose of time relent. This soulful face replaced with bastard wine, despised deriding time, decisions erased in human long division. Villain time, in tandem tug with spurious space replace, content to tear, arming hearts, with alarming arts. Past all metallic strain, electric thumps hide the signing sighs in tearful throated lumps. Love's web soft embrace, dewy prisms paint, green leaves in light, wild heart, starting smile, delight. Weigh the hours on thine eyes' tender scales, the whales of depart art. Weigh the hours, count the blooded hours, alone unphoned peace, counting time, ridiculous, sublime, of wasted water tasted, running down danger's cheeks on cobble clouded downcast lane. Wasted moments, monuments to independent moods, in brewed pitch the scalding broth, the sloth's sad plight, indecision, indecision's muddy mirror, count the time's hurdled corpse recline, measured, mastered, time, the wild and woolly miles of wiles, treasured kisses, breakout blisses, thundered caress yearning, the sky is burning by memories aflame. What was the name? Balanced by the greater graphs of past. Calculators barely scratched my memory sleeve. Yet I grieving caught, catching, wrenching wet wretches. Choice chance, the dance, the waltz of shadowed romance. Mental waves wash over graves of history's mysteries. Mental waves wash over graves of history's mystery. Ring round the royal relativity of life. Remember the ritual brother's virtual wife. Echo the favorite uncle's strife. Cancel the baby brother's new lover's clover wife. Warm calculations.
I am a deer in headlights in your presence. Just the sight of you. When you graze my elbow unintentionally, oops. When you lightly tap me on the shoulder, when you say hello to me. God help my heart if you wave or smile at me from across a crowded room, if you dare to look me in the eyes. For me to tell you how I feel would make my heart beat so fast it would have to jump out of my chest to survive. I will write my feelings in a poem in a squiggly black and white cardboard covered comp book. Tear the page from the notebook, fold it in thirds, shove it in an unmarked envelope under a pile of paid bills in my desk drawer so I shall never risk reading it to you or anyone else. If I did so, I might learn why the word crush exists. You could hold my mushy heart in your hands and twist it and wring out my ability to smile, leaving only residual heartbreak tears that would never dare exit my eyes. I will take a deep breath. I shall never exhale. I will accept our existences as separate. I will accept being afraid of my own shadow is the same as being afraid of being in love. I will hope that one day you will reciprocate my feelings without my expressing them to you, so I can finally be able to read you this poem. 2. I so badly wish to exist in your ink. I like watching you from afar when you write your poetry. When I hear your pen scratch against paper as I watch from the other room, when your emotions are transformed into ink, I hope the thoughts that are encompassed in the ink are about me, about how you like to lay your head on my pillow when I wake and rise before you, how those moments when I am absent from our bed lead you to my scent, how I taste your tangerine mint lip balm whenever you enter a room, how you allow me to win arguments that have nothing to do with you and everything to do with my need to vent, how my mirror is more honest when you look me in the eyes, how I'm no longer afraid to cry in front of others, how knowing you exist in my life tells my tears it's okay to fall, how the sound of your voice lets me know hugs still exist. I hope the thoughts that become your third poetry are laced with the love I feel for you, the love you infuse in my heart. Your
Aria, I'm talking to the part of you that never speaks. Laurie Anderson. Every object on this planet speaks to us, reflecting back vibrations from each sound they encounter, embedded in the rustling and flickering or songs and voices, great rumblings and whispers, caught but not collected, each moment's movement a new exposition. Even the crumpled bag of chips, its surface quivering like a pond's skin, repeats the stories with a plastic tongue. Deeper yet, all aspects of being, every subatomic particle rings and hums together, the true harmony through which the universe speaks to itself, to us, and to all else, leaving no doubt as to our oneness. What cannot be heard can be felt in silence. The finger hovering over the plucked string tickled by rhythmic radiation. Every atom is ear and tongue, scribe and subscriber, every substance dancing to cycling series of rising, interconnected, incremental tones blasting from the black mouth of the Big Bang. All notes and sounds, every chanted word and thought, an echo of primordial exhalation. Every nerve and tissue, every growing cell, every crystalline formation speaks to all, listens to all, sings an open-ended aria of unity.
I've been a little bit depressed lately, and that's not an easy thing to admit to a sea of beautiful souls. You see, there's been nowhere to hide with the sun shining so. I've been flinching against the summer frivolities. My very core is aching for solitude. I've been secretly drowning within poised panic attacks. It's an odd thing to be violently losing grip on reality to the melody of giggles from the garden. Only the bumblebees and butterflies at the window are privy to my silent screams. As I'm propelled ever onward, inching quicker and closer to the autumnal years of life, I'm tortured with visions of crippling loneliness and ideas of being lost in an unforgiving winter, witness only to my own self-loathing, my reaching arms finding no one in the dark. Where once frothed an ocean of tumultuous desire, my inner shores now lay silent and haunted by the ghosts of lovers who have swum my depths. My waters are stifled, gasping for air, aching for a singular stone to be cast, waiting for the slightest gift of a nudge that will herald an end to this perpetual interlude.
An old dawn fades into yesterday as a new light shines on today. Preoccupations becoming artifacts in the rush of time, whispering in one's ear the sentiments of experience. The sun breaking through the curtain of gray silence while pondering the bitter end. A thought once forgotten rearing its ugly head. A wave of memories crashing on the shore as one's position in the larger scope is reassessed, while the fates take a holiday and the light leaves one supple as the lamb in its reassuring warmth. As trouble comes and pressure mounts, and what did it all mean? And what did it all do? But leave you out in the cold, counting the pennies which you no longer have, and wondering where all the time and money went, struggling to push the boulder of existence uphill, yet resigning oneself to its sheer weight. As thoughts are plucked from a subtle breath, spinning in an unsettled wind, where the question arises that with every loss, what is truly gained? Knowledge, wisdom, certainty. Yet there is no clear horizon, as one's mind seems in a freefall. As the sunset embraces a moonlit night, the candle's flame flickers, the wick burning slowly down. Wax trails in liquid patterns slowly drip, while a firefly hovers and illuminates a thought.
Reality. The fear of being let down and the feeling of being too much. It's the dread of never being good enough, yet unable to take a compliment. Afraid to be too loud. Constant conflict felt inside. Anxious mind, knitting needles, running wild. Knowing and believing are poles apart. Control and mental illness. Why can't they divorce and just calmly part? My illnesses hurt me, so do unkind words. When things are taken without an ask, I spiral, overthink. Can't settle, driven by injustice, anger and upset. A past of abuse and pain ongoing. I'm always on, alert to threat, prepared to fight or flee or freeze. Triggered by uncertainty, last minute changes. Communication failures hurt me. Anxiety exhausts me. Don't take over, ask me first. I need control, but I don't want it. I know what it's like to be left in the dark, the bottom of the mud pit. Can't see any self-confidence. I can fake it, be the joker, self-depreciate so well. Perched on the edge of an anxious cliff, I self-stigmatize, push myself so hard, apologize when it's not my fault. Ruminate, procrastinate, shut myself off, cry myself to sleep sometimes. Truth sharing terrifies me, overthinking constantly. If you're late, it's not the traffic. I always think that you could be dead somewhere in a ditch. Paranoia, gaslighting myself. Can't concentrate, memory's gone to shit. A trampoline from breakdown to okayness. Perfectionism, my cross to bear. Some days it's living a vivid nightmare, fluorescently lit. Others it's swimming, head above water. Anxious and somehow still surviving, day by day.
I wear my ill-fitting human nature as best I can until another wounded soul cries out for healing. Then wisdom from a timeless age uses myth and metaphor to metamorphose real courage. I shed my artificial human skin, revealing my selkie self within. I who swims constantly against the tide and voices the words of those unspoken. Though living with the pain of introversion, I am empowered to help those reeling from the harsh realities of extroversion. Join me in the secret dark and ocean rich divide where as selkie spirits we flow side by side. Now sheltered beneath the crushing storms of human noise and conditioned norms, only sensory deprivation transforms our different energy. Be barnacle tight in your resolve to nourish your reflective soul with the fertile silence of pressing fathoms. And whenever you feel displaced, return to this ancient space. This deep sea crevice is my home. This is where I grow. And everything that grows starts in the dark. My blackboard mind needed these words to drown out the chalked experiences screeching their groundhog reality on repeat, repeat. I need to know darkness is not the end. It incubates a new beginning. I will emerge when nourished. Knowing that fertile soil is the blackest helps, and my lack of vision heralds the clapperboard as I start a new verse in the poem of my mountainous life. I am not bogged down anymore by responsibility. This crevice is my home. From here on in, I grow.
The buildings remain quietly still, scattered, yet geometrically frozen in concrete and steel. Their spirits remain empty of prosperity that manifest in the anxiety of those pondering their future. The anxiety of echoes reflecting tentative footsteps, footsteps of masked shoppers queuing at Sainsbury's cautiously. The fallout of fear ripples through the community, manifests in everybody. It even captures the anxious homeless lady on Westow Hill. She nervously attempts to make eye contact with shoppers. Most look the other way, yet she has hopes for tomorrow, as it's always another day. Yes, the sun is shining, her face is young, weathered but smiling. A shopper passes her sandwiches that she places next to the cup of change she is stockpiling. Today's a better day for her. I see the fallout on the empty streets, once thriving, now dying. Consumerism waits for no one. It has no time, splitting the fault line across rows of dead shops on the commercial front line. Even the barbershop and church road is closed. Grieving families sit seeking truths from digital visuals, with retinas dilated with global devastation, twitching against our chaotic stimulation of social media divisions and governments' wrestling scrutinisations. The viral demon speaks silently for action. It speaks, mess with nature's equilibrium, then this is what will happen. I love to breed, conquer, yet kill, you see, so I'm not that different to you, really. You won't defeat me, but pay attention to what I do and respect me by behaving differently. I love to breed, conquer, yet kill, you see, so I'm not that different to you, really. I creep unseen. I may flash you a hand with the king and queen, but disrespect me and I'll find the vulnerability. You'll be unlucky, then pull the joker, go. Flick it with insensitivity at that frail with a disability. I'll make them flinch against doctors who work tirelessly as they desperately procure oxygen, their valuable commodity. Anxiously shielding whispers of death from asphyxiating breaths. I have no choice, yet you do, so listen to what I tell you. It's death that I deal in, and I'll do it without feeling. You have rational thought and wisdom, disregard it, and I'll disrupt your kingdom. You may think you're at the top of the hierarchy, but ignore me and I'll get really angry, like my buddies, TB and the Black Death before me. So you've heard my biological war cry, and despite the industrial revolution, technical innovation, and globalisation, you've still small fry. If you listen and act on our occasional cry, we may prosper rather than wither and die.
Illusion is the hardest thing. I see and hear Avenue de Versailles release its voice from words that long had held it down, aimless flurries of passers-by. Sunset stretches overhead and builds a city of stone on green that seems to fill the absent sky with fiery lights in brilliant grids. The breeze's chord progression never resolves. Time's fingers grip a spinning globe and draw the soul slowly over magnetic meridians at dusk, strum the world's imaginary strings. Within, we chant a hidden word in meditation often heard. The river rolls backward in my eyes, mirrored spheres, flows over inner rocks, and returns a wounded arrow. Our sharp half moon has split this dusk and cut the cords to cold denial of beauty's paint on canvas minds. Twilight's windows begin to speak in sapphire song and one long sigh. Seagulls wheel over long waters, crying out their timeless tale. Midway in the journey of our life, we found the ocean lost to us, and we burned for a bond with water, wandered with every feather, seek and find. Below Pont Mirabeau's faint green rails, in cobalt light, white birds unwind. They work to learn letters and words from overvalued thoughts we guard. With unspoken sparks, we make our world. A troubled singer begs the mirror to glitter in falling shards, just to break the hardest layer. My other mother murmurs, Maya is the hardest thing. Please push the mirror and discover it's a window to within. At the deep heart's core, leave your door wide open. Let kind fire spread.
Streaming. I need to be a stream, a dedicated continuity like a river, percolating its pleasing static when called for, or frothing mad with steam when too much comes down. A rapid artery of chill intentions when my heartbeat is slow, when my mind stays its course and erodes restrictive boundaries. Having within me the energy to persist as if all existence was downhill. When I am disturbed by a hard world, smoothing its edges into the promise of eggs. Humming the om of distant Tibetan bowls and the whispers of ageless sages to become a fugue, a constant flow, flowing until I can become boundless like an ocean.
My lover is waiting for me with two bright-eyed chewing camels at the base of the Great Pyramid. I've climbed to the top to be closer to the stars tonight, closer to the endless unknown, the unknowable universe, the unseeing night. The pyramid holds my weight aloft. Swirling winds resonate with ancient whisperings. The age of the unknown humbles me to die. At a certain point, I become overwhelmed with age. I feel the stamping camels in my lover's patient heart spreading to understand the time. I draw one last breath of mystery atop a fountain of unanswerable questions. Mortality seeks my path down the glowing stones as I carefully make my way back down in the darkness. The Sphinx shudders with yet another one, seeking. My lover follows my every step down, giving me latitude to explore, and with each safe placement of feet, breathes some piece of relief. The ground is more gravity to know, yet another mystery that holds my life. The stars spin, laughing brightly. He embraces me, enveloping me with honey, with fire, with an ocean of memories. Lifts me up to the camel that now knows me, grudgingly bearing me as it has others. Tourists, it mumbles in camelese. I know with each rock of the camel's stride, I'm repeating a mantra of 1,000 years. What is this unknowable unknown? I am not here, it repeats. You are not here. There are no answers among these stars, these stones.
Secrets, secrets, the secrets. You wanted me to keep yours. Secret, a secret. Why do you want to tell mine? Secret, my secret is not your secret, safe with you. Secret, secret, yours is safe with me forever. Secret, the secret, have you read the book? Secret, the secret, book brings magic. Secret, the secret, we are no longer a secret. Secret, secret, we are living the life like we choose. Secret, secret, why are we keeping them? Secrets can ruin the very secret we share. Secret, secret, I would give you all my secrets. No, no, you cannot have them. I promised I would keep your secret in my collection.
The colours of night. The world from the window is covered in a blanket of night, velveteen blackness pierced by buttons of sodium gold, spots of mercurial silver, porch lights, manufactured echoes of moonglow, trying in vain to push back the dark. These sweet pools of colour like desert oases promise succour to the night blinded. Details escape this night watcher's eyes. Age and soft mists create an abstract diffusion of monochromatic expectations, hinting at flavour for the senses. The sky, a taste of midnight sapphire, packed with hints of peacock and mulberry. This nocturne of subtractive, subjective colour is an exclusive performance for the sleep-challenged, night workers, and those who care to seek the colours of night. A crescent moon, like an upturned basket, has strewn stars across the sky. Night air spills from the open skylight, splashing across our exposed shoulders. The soft duvet binds us together, resisting the unrelenting cascade of air, anchoring us firmly in the present moment. Laying beside you, your head resting on my forearm, my hand across your breast. Beneath my palm, I feel the steady rhythmic beat of your heart, the constant swell and fall of your chest. I feel the echoes of your soul singing in harmony with mine. I feel the waves of love lapping around the shores of my self. I am still lost in awe at the energy passing between us. The heat of you against my ribs draws my attention, and I raise my hand, gently stroke your glorious skin, and sleepy, slow eyes slowly open, and you smile, you laugh softly. A coruscating cascade, soft chimes of laughter, a goddess washed in filtered moonlight. I am adrift, lost in the ocean of your eyes, a fluorescent sea of grey-green tourmaline. My vessel, rudderless in velvet darkness, moved by the ebb and flow of passion, pitched and tossed by thought and memory. Elevated pulse pounds within my veins, colours are bright, senses heightened, your scent an exotic hint of spice from the market of the Grand Bazaar. We sink into silk-lined sleep, lost to the Sandman's call.
The memory of liquid breath. Liquid breath slows the wake as it travels, gives into gravity. It surrenders the desire for its own existence and not of its own being. It joins with yours, the great exhale of relief that it is, born in you, the impulse to sing, the voice weighty. It roars and gives throat to a music never heard, only perhaps from the garden that is night, as it sings its varied song, the field you walk through, and in dreams the lowering sky, your blanket of thought. It lulls the eyes to sleep, and we do not wake until we are at last complete. Seated earth. I seeded earth and skipped the change which would happen inevitable, to have the seed grow without me seeing it, watching each moment the steps of new life. I seeded earth with my blood and heartache and wept for the love of it. The change I do not understand, for it is not mine to know. I know that the birds will fly above this seed as it grows into what it will be, that above, the birds circling this carousel of life, then the clouds float slow as they will, and above them the sun at times visible this time of year, the unrelenting gray only a soft blanket of thought on which to ruminate and plant its seed in me. Blue door. I could live in a quiet place where my heart is still and alarms not. Vines that spiral up, starting at my feet, and growing fast, so fast as to cloak me. I could live in a quiet place where want will not travel, where desire gets lost and does not find me, and only the cats and small birds which sing large know the way to my door, a door as blue as the sky and seeming such as sky, no one would find it to knock, and inside I would be still and quiet in my thoughts, and outside the door, the world. The laughter of very old women. The white hall is empty, so empty, vast it seems, and long, much longer than it really is. Your feet clatter on the planks as you walk down towards the rooms, 3 of them. One door is open, and you go towards the gauzy white curtains that waft seductively into the hall, touching the far wall, and flutter in some seizure of wind or the moment, and then rest. How is it for you when the children leave, finally? Tell me, I have yet to know this. Are they nice to you when they visit or when you talk to them on the phone? Do they hang up or do they keep listening, old mother? There is a mass ascension of birds at the moment you walk into the barn, almost frightening in its suddenness. The moment all the black wings in unison work, clouding your vision with darkness, with the momentary absence of light, like death or an asthma attack haloed from above, the dust catches the sun from high windows, like the arrows of Saint Teresa, and you are enthroned in a golden cloud of light, with the sound only, the rhythmic measure of the bird's wings, beating in your ears, like the sound of your mother's heart above you as you rested in her womb. And you, old mother, are you spent, or do you have more time to spend? How do you measure the hours of your day? Are you urgent or are you calm? Calm, I hope, old mother. We all deserve that. Tell me, do we ever arrive? Do we ever get anywhere, finally and forever? I knew you on the sidewalk, only by your laughter. Some few feet from the door, I saw it was you, and coming in shy at the threshold, I pause and feel the weight of my feet under me, having moved and ready for movement all the while. It is you, crowned by your white hair, like a Mexican saint or angel, your head thrown back, laughing a delicious seizure, making your laughter prayers to the ceiling, now to the corners, to the floor, and back again. You laughed. You laughed the laughter of the old and the holy, and I knew you as my mother smiling behind her hand. I knew you as my sister never smiling, my auntie smiling variously. I knew you as me becoming you when it is all behind us and we can sit all together around the table as very old women and laugh.
A shallow bath soon cools. I'd rather sink to my chin, lie in lather, a hot skin. I used to take a bath alone, a full-length rest from random calls, the door, a child, the phone. He'd come later, joke about lust in the quiet. He'd rub my back, just misplace a stroke, his specs steamed up. Her hand gives firm flannel scrubs, a proper routine for cleansing, no slippery lingering. I soap my slack belly, caress my chest. I reach for less and less. Too much of me is out of touch. The tap runs tepid for thin limbs. I hold up my arms when told, fresh flesh strains from bone in folds. These legs have stood me proud, fine lined with veins, purple stained, floating on water, though I walk in pain. Carers do, as people chat, as people do in queues, sharing this view, that piece of news. I note the student watching us. Their young joints hoist my weight. The small towel softens with my wetness. No other body shares its cleanness. My clothes are ordered, a uniform pile. I try the stiff catches, search for holes, rely on strange hands and a looser style. Cropping the verse. She slices herbs clean from the stem with a nail, catches a breath of leaves bruised for the table, scoops a tangle of flowers. Trailing a riff, the writer crops a verse, pockets a windfall. Late letters loop page on page, a rumble of thoughts in a train, smudges of colour, the tang of turned earth, moments of small talk. She tugs words, a rag through canvas, snips a scrap, lays a rug at our feet. It's the pick of the bunch, fine art, a turn of phrase in the air, a cut to the heart in a line, a bouquet. Why not? Make a song and a dance about it. Tune into the new lyrics and give the voice a chance. Becalm the hours with tales of courtship, boasts of buccaneers, their flaws. A refugee chasing a star, the lost lives, our centuries of ghosts. But first, we adjust our chairs, locate the password, switch into Zoom, unmute the microphone. Mindful of our turn, we can raise the roof of this or any room. Stillness will come soon enough, at the end, packed up, thoughts sent flying back to a warm home with family, or alone, at the end, missing the company. We keep pace in this unsteady time, at odds with rhythm or an even rhyme, the tap-tap of feet pulsing the ground, stepping to the sounds of this interlude.
I wrote a song the other day and gave it to the moon in hopes she'd read it over and whisper me the tune. "Oh, darling girl," she said to me, "your words are out of sorts. I can't gift you a melody if your heart is bound in knots. I can give you moonlight and cosmic dreams galore, but your heart's desire can't come from me. Don't ask me anymore." I took my song just yesterday and gave it to the sun. With a yawning smile, he closed his eyes and sang a slow wee hum. "My darling girl," he said to me, "this isn't any use. Your heart has lost its beat, you see. It's had too much abuse. Music doesn't come from searching outside in the dark. Look within to find it. You should maybe ask your heart." So I took my song this morning and I tried to find my heart. It was engulfed in flames and clotted blood like a dreadful piece of art. "My darling girl," she sobbed at me, "please tell me that we're done. How many times must you squeeze me dry? This isn't any fun." I cleaned her up as best I could and showered her with praise. Her beat restarted readily, but her wistful eyes were glazed. "Remember when we danced till dawn and sang of hope and grace? Why did it come to another end? I hate this awful place." So I lulled her into a slumber, let her rest again once more. I asked the moon and sun to help her heal her open sores. And I took my selfish little song and I burned it 'neath the moon. My broken heart can't catch its breath to whisper me the tune.
What is it to stay open? To keep mind fresh while body withers away into all time, upstream of everything, of grandeur, of lost, of forgotten, of magnified focus on what is important. Take heart and joyous celebration as everything is washed away from stone foundation, soluble existence in fleeting moments, out of context patter that focuses on cut up reality perspective. chaotic picture sewn together by humble hands that know nothing, will never know anything. Individual chances of survival are 0. Shards of knowledge cut through fog of thought. Road to salvation was embedded in simplicity. Everything, everything, nothing, nothing. Tug-of-war concepts that strip to the bone. All-encompassing abstract concept forces life into perspective. Laid out as needless waste on ground, symptom impossible to answer. Now, 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 continuous waves into the future. Everything forever.
I started this with a dream, a love supreme dream. I was in a morning dance with samba rhythms, moving everything. But now as I come to my final interlude, I find myself in a mountain dance. High, 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 where the waves come crashing down, where I can stand with heroes. I can stand with my heroes, my icons, my poets that my friends, my community, my poets who I can dance the Argentinian tango. I can be intricate, put my leg in and there and go. But yet I can be sensual, but yet the emotions will flow. I am Icarus. I don't want you to fly me to the sun. I want to fly me. I want to be like Sinatra and fly me to the moon. I'd sit there in blue notes like a child in a sweet shop, living this dream among such great wordsmiths as seen. You are my sympathy. The poets I hear today, you are my orchestra. You are my orchestra where the baton is led. You start, you're my 5 a day. You're my nourishment. As Christine and Lesley, you are my heart's what's so divine. You take me to a place where everything is grime. There is David with so many accents of his soul, takes me through a journey even foggiest flock couldn't follow. Francesca, her body and soul, nurtures my ebonies and iris and plays the concerto to the soul. Amy, the undivine queen of Nashville. She's where the sublime live, where the secret lies of true life, where I sponge the beauties, where Generalissimo, Brian does not just do what I go, he is a big gong. Why we love him so. And which he owes is a great big open sesame to a main man's world, which is kind and blossoms. What Gary's head marinates into his malt whiskey life. Every poet is a new infinity to save my life. Every word is not left unspoken. Peter talks about the robin, not just out there to be twerky, to be look good on the Christmas card, but to enjoy, to life, to make the blackboard, make the jackdaw crow. A timeless dance where the jackdaw crows and we all be worship, where Greg is resolute and keeping the peace is the heart of the 12 disciples we all seek. The brass section of this orchestra is there below. Pancora has this triangle, which gives the aroma of jasmine and all the scents that we know are nice, and taste makes us feel privileged in this world that never stents. David continues to conduct the music for the food of life. Time is timeless as he takes the symphony. Ian is like a piccolo, whistling through that moment, what can take us to a fantasia, a new criteria in life. And Kate becomes the glue that holds us together of sense and reason, but just makes us joy. Joy to be alive with a voice that commands all of us with loyalty to subject. With chiseled words, what makes us rejoice and articulate as Lauren works up with great gesture, but gives us sentiment we can all feel. Why? Then comes Henry, whose words are precise and sentenced for every night, makes us listen and restores us, our blind eyes, to 2020 vision. And at this point, Kelly is like the ballerina in Swan Lake, where despite a fall, she comes up, she rises up to the cream. The cream always rises to the top for us to elate. As time goes on into this spectrum of life, we listen to the order the lantern brings for us. It's the trumpet bearer through us throughout. It goes, it's like a stick of rock, the name of lantern carrier. The name goes throughout all our words and willows. Why the triumph comes with Noah. It's a complete triumphant recall. It's not a trombone of a last recall. It is that this is not an amen. It's a time for us to rejoice for all. I thank you, poets. I love you all. Thank you all. Oh, you can anoint yourself, do what you like.